Welcome to the Parkinson's Disease Education Show, where we demystify the disease and empower you as the person with Parkinson's disease to reach your true potential. The content contained on this show is for informational purposes only and is not meant to be a replacement for information or advice that you receive from your in-person medical or therapy professionals. If you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing, and for an even more personalized experience, please ask us about our memberships. Now, without further ado, let's start the show. Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to What's Next Wednesday, where we discuss upcoming content on our YouTube and podcast and share a little bit of knowledge with you about the topic at hand. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Hyland, Michael Hyland. I'm a physical therapist, but I'm the host of the Parkinson's Disease Education YouTube and podcast. And I am going to talk to you a little bit today about cannabis and potential benefits of cannabis to treat Parkinson's disease. Oops, sorry. I'm going to mute myself down here. There we go. Now I muted myself. Okay. So a lot of people have been talking about this topic for several years, many years, and I feel like I've heard a little bit more buzz is a bad pun, sorry. I've heard a little bit more talk about CBD oil over the years when it comes to Parkinson's, but actually cannabis in itself can have benefits, and I wanted to touch on that briefly today. We're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail in a video that I'm going to release this coming weekend. So that's one of the purposes of the What's Next Wednesday, is a preview of the existing content, basically, for what's going to come up. I said existing, you know what I mean? It's a preview of the topic that's going to be discussed in the long form video. I had, for some reason, an issue came up on my live stream on Facebook, so I'm sharing this to several groups as we speak here. I usually go live on my personal page as well, and for some reason that did not work. So, oh well. It is what it is. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about this. So, in terms of cannabis as an overall category, you've got two different forms of treatment you can find with cannabis. Like as I mentioned, you have CBD oil, and you can also have the benefit of the THC that's contained within cannabis. So there's actually combinations of those as well. So I just want to touch on that briefly. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about what symptoms might be. Basically, the short version of this is that there's some motor symptoms that have been shown to improve with cannabis. It's based mostly on anecdotal reports, but apparently there are some small studies that have supported that as well. But clinical trials overall have shown mixed results. So we don't have strong evidence yet. And non-motor symptoms as well. I feel like that's probably more likely to be affected, honestly, than the motor symptoms, just overall. And that's just based on a kind of a cursory review that I've done on the topic. But particularly CBD oil has multiple benefits. I want to talk about that more Saturday in the video. Pain as well can be a benefit, or improving pain. Spasticity and muscle cramping could improve, and dyskinesia as well. So there's multiple potential benefits. Before I move on, I wanted to invite you to like and share this video if you're enjoying it. Please subscribe and follow on social media. And also, if you I wouldn't mind saying hello, I would love to say hello back in the comments section. But yeah, so the next thing I was going to mention is the potential risks and side effects. We'll talk about that more in detail in this coming video. And briefly, I want to mention this is legal in many states in the United States. So you can get medical cannabis licenses. You can get the CBD oil. Of course, that's not there's no restriction on that. But as far as the THC, anything that contains the THC, you have to have either has to be completely legal, or you have to have some means of using it medicinally. In other words, some states it's recreational and medicinal. Some states it's more specific to medicinal use, and then some states it may be even more restrictive. So you just have to look at your own state's laws. But that's the main thing. So honestly, there's probably there's probably not a huge host of benefits with THC, or with cannabis rather, but there's probably enough positive benefit that could be found that it's worth exploring more. So I hope you'll join me this weekend in looking at a more detailed version of the video or the topic, a more detailed version of the topic. Usually, often drop the video around 9 o'clock in the morning, and that way people have gotten a chance to get up and have a cup of coffee, or maybe start their day with the video. Who knows? I won't aspire to that, but you never know. Hi, Doreen. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you coming in live. And I hope you didn't miss much, but just as a summary of what we've talked about so far, this coming weekend is going to be a long-form video on cannabis, both discussing the potential benefits of CBD oil as well as the THC found in cannabis, and the legality of that, what symptoms it can treat, and ones it may not be able to treat, things like that. A lot of people are interested in this topic, so I hope that you'll come watch it. And I don't usually link it on Facebook, but if you're on YouTube and you're subscribed, you'll get notified of that upcoming video. And if you aren't subscribed already, why not? It's free, and it doesn't cost you anything to do that. And it helps the channel actually too if you subscribe and watch the videos. So do come this weekend for that. And if I'm hoping at least 10 of you have liked the video so far. I've had up to 12 live at this moment. So if you're on YouTube especially. But I appreciate you all supporting with just your watching the videos and your likes. And let me know if you have any questions about that. Doreen asked some oral THC. The answer to that, short answer would be yes, because I want to discuss kind of all modes of taking it, because it's not just smoking a joint, right? I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that on the social media, but it's not just about, inhaling all that. It could be gummies, it could be other forms as well. So there's multiple modes of taking it. And again, it could be THC or CBD or both, because there's some that actually combine the two, or some ways that they've combined the two. So yeah, that's about it in a nutshell. I do hope you'll come watch that this weekend. I'll do my best to get a lot more detail for you and make it make sense, right? Oh, Doreen says she's taken Delta 9 gummies. It's one third of a gummy at a time. So yeah, and that's a good point you make, is that sometimes it can be really strong. So you got to be careful when you're chewing up the gummies, because they it can pack a punch in just one gummy. So, but it helps your PD so much. So that's really helpful, and I'm glad to hear that it's helping you a lot. You don't have to share it specifically right now, but I do hope especially if you're watching on YouTube, so if you comment on the video this coming weekend, especially while it's, I usually tend to have a poll going during the live premiere on YouTube, and so I do that to kind of increase engagement a little bit, and hopefully people like that. But basically, I usually put a poll up of like, hey, if you tried XYZ, what were your benefits? And I list a few benefits. I'll put a few not applicable answers, things like that, just to make it equal. But yeah, so I'd like to hear your feedback, is what I'm saying, on benefits. But that's all I came to say today. I'll wrap this up, but I do hope you'll come this weekend, and I would enjoy that very much to interact with you in the live premiere and the poll that I put up and in subsequent comments. So thanks for being here, Doreen, and everybody else watching live. Appreciate you. Have a good afternoon, and I'll see you Saturday. Be empowered.